Welcome to Takeover Talks. I'm Tommy Prince. I'm your host, and it's been a while. It's been a week since I did my last one. We got a lot to talk about basketball-wise. But before I talk about that, fishing was good. Went to Alaska this past week. It was me, my dad, and two of my uncles and my aunt. And then my cousin came a little bit later, but I only saw her for a couple hours before I left. So, yeah, it was a good trip. It was pretty damn cold. Nonetheless, it was good fishing. Well, it was all right fishing until the last day. Then it was really good fishing. Um, but pull up my Instagram post real quick because it's pretty fire. Here it is. Um, yeah, went to Alaska. This is me with a bottle of rum. It's cold, you know. Gotta have a nice drink. Here's a 90-pound fish that I caught. Halibut, if you're wondering. Good sized fish. There's my dad. There's me with my fish again. Boat. Some icebergs. A bear. Cannon. Me and my dad next to an iceberg. Me and Stewie. If you don't know who Stewie is, he's my stoma. If you don't know what a stoma is, you should go look it up. It's pretty lit. But yeah, good trip. Nothing else really to it. Also, if you hear a buzzing in the background, it's my 3D printer. I got something going, but I don't think it should pick up. Not sure. Don't know. Yeah, good trip. We flew in Tuesday, and then got home yesterday, so 6 days, I guess. But yeah. Anyways, I got to have lunch with one of my good friends today. Haven't seen him in probably 8 months. So that was good. Just kind of caught up a little bit with the Cafe Rio. Pretty chill. But yeah, I'm ready to talk about basketball. So let's just dive right into this. Actually, first let's show some of the Instagram posts that we have saved from this week. Let's see. So, oh yeah, this one's pretty interesting. So Timberwolves had, I mean, you really look at this lineup here, and in 2022, like they weren't amazing. If I'm being honest with you, I think Dio is the problem. I'm dead serious. I mean, you look at Dio on the Timberwolves, and Timberwolves weren't great. Dio moved, picked up Mike Conley, and they're killing it. I mean, they're about to get swept, but nonetheless, they made it to the Western Conference Finals, and yeah. But now you look at the Lakers, and the Lakers are just like, man, they're trash, bro. The Lakers are trash but I genuinely think one of the main reasons that they're trash is because of D'Lo. He's just not amazing, really. What do we got here? Oh yeah. So I guess technically inside the NBA is not out. They still have a small chance of staying alive, but it's very unlikely. Still upset about that. This is hilarious. For those who are just listening, it's a post that says Mavs versus Wolves battle for the parental custody of Devin Booker. They both own Devin Booker's ass. Devin Booker, I'm not gonna lie to you, Devin Booker is really not that good of a player. Especially since he's been wearing that headband, that ugly headband. He's not. I mean, if I'm being honest, since it's fallen off, Devin Booker's not as good as people thought he was. Kevin Durant is nearing the end of his career. And then, you know, I mean, the rest has just gone downhill. Suns are not. They're not going to be anything next year. There's no way. This I thought was interesting. NCAA Power 5 agrees to let schools pay players. Which, people, like, I think NCAA players deserve to be paid for bringing attraction to the schools. Like, I think Jared McCain has been a really good freshman for Duke, and he is. I feel like he's drawn a little bit of traction to the Duke program this last year, and especially because Duke has just been able to produce so many good NBA players. But yeah, I think it'd be lit if they started paying him, and I think they should. I don't know. I think they should still pay international players as well, because I feel bad for Zach Edey because he's so talented, but he can't do any NIL deals. He can't make any money whatsoever from college, and so I honestly think he could make a ton of money, but he's not allowed to because he's Canadian. So, um, yeah. Next, Minnesota Timberwolves center Rudy Gobert was out for Game 2 against the Nuggets because he was having a child. But last year, about 9 months ago, before that, he said it was when he hit the first 3-pointer of his career. He said, "I feel like I lost my virginity," and 5 months ago or 9 months ago was the day he hit it was August 5th, and the day that this was tweeted was May 5th. And that's 9 months later. So he definitely got some action after hitting that three. Congrats, Rudy Gobert. What a player. Congrats on your kid as well. This pains me to look at. This just pains me to look at. 17 for 57 field goals. This was before the last game, so the 3 games before that, it was Game 7 and then the first 2 games of the series. 17 for 57 field goal shooting, which is 28.9% shooting. Absolutely awful. The worst in any 3-game span of his career. And it's funny because, like, he went from being compared to literally Michael Jordan, which is, that you're being put up on a pedestal. You are a golden player, and then, just a couple games later, you're shit in the bed and you're putting up worse numbers than Dylan Brooks on the freaking Memphis Grizzlies. That's not okay. That's not what a superstar is made of. He is a superstar. I think he's still kind of coming into the league a little bit and needs to learn. He just needs to find some more traction in the league to become the superstar that we all know he is. Cleveland dismissed their head coach, JB Bickerstaff, on Thursday. But what is with these coach releases, man? I don't understand this, because the Cavs were not a bad team. They were not a bad team at all. They got whooped by the Celtics, but the Celtics are also really good this year. So I don't understand. Like, this first comment says, coaches absolutely get no chances anymore. It's actually crazy. It's true. One second. Like, coaches can't catch a break. Even if you have a winning record of the team, even if you lead your team to the freaking second round in the playoffs, second round's good. They definitely had a chance at the third round. But you have one mistake as a coach, and it's just shit hits the fan, and then you're out of a job. It doesn't make sense. You've now fired the Lakers coach, you've now fired the Cavs coach, and you fired the Suns coach, all of which are amazing coaches. Why you'd fire them, I don't know. Like, to me, that doesn't do anything for your team, because you have these coaches building chemistry with their players and building a team and helping the franchise, and then you just release them and hope to find another guy that can pick it up where you left off and then just start going again. Doesn't make sense to me. Fever won their first game after starting 0-4 or 0-5. I saw a bunch of stuff about Caitlin Clark, bringing in attention and stuff. I love what she's doing, with the Fever. I know the Fever are struggling, but it's a team game, and one player can't carry on the back, so that's why the Fever aren't doing well. She's also got a lot of pressure, especially like this year for the NBA in general. They have a lot of pressure, and so I think it's kind of coming to bite them back in the butt because for the longest time they're like, we need more people watching our games, we need more audience, blah 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 blah. And now that they have that, it's a struggle for some players because it's too much for them. Goat Bill Walton died. Great guy, Hall of Famer. Um, Played at the U, which I'm in Utah. I love the U. My best friend's going to the U next season. He was a good announcer, funny dude. Um, but cancer's a bitch and can't really do anything about it. So rest in peace, Bill Walton. This is a beautiful picture. This is really the one. Like one of the things I love about Anthony Edwards is, I'm a huge advocate for John Morant. I have his shoes, I have his jersey. I love John Morant. He got in that accident, and his career has been kind of iffy lately. He had a terrible season last season, or I guess this season, and um, he's just kind of losing it, and I feel bad for him. But Anthony Edwards has picked up that energy, and he is now the guy who wants to put everyone on a poster. That's the one thing I love about John Morant is his explosiveness and his ability to attack the rim as a guard is just it's just artwork to me. When a guard is able to do things like this in the National Basketball Association, like I just think it's incredible for players like that, and I think Anthony Edwards really just picked it up right where John Morant left it off, and he is making posters after posters this season. What else we got in here? Oh yeah, this is the stat that I was telling you about. Dylan Brooks, 2022, 30%, 15 for 50. Anthony Edwards is below that in the last 3 games. I don't know what else to say. How can you go from being compared to Michael Jordan and then being compared to Dylan Brooks the next week later? I don't understand that. I really don't understand that. I mean, I genuinely think that Rudy Gobert has a better chance of being Michael Jordan's son because of that fadeaway. If I'm being honest with you, and I don't really pay attention to baseball all that much, but I feel like you live under a rock if you don't know who Angel Hernandez is. Controversial, like a lot of people hate this dude. Poor, horrible umpire. But he finally retired. So if you didn't know that, you do now. And again, I don't really follow MLB that much. But that this is a big step for the MLB when he's retiring. Yeah. Anyways, Pacers Celtics. So it's been a week. It's been a whole week, and that series is already over. Series is already done. Swept. Absolutely swept. I don't really know. I don't really know what else to say. Like, I knew that the Pacers weren't going to do well against the Celtics. I figured they might be able to win a game or two, but they lost Tyrese Haliburton in game. Um, what am I trying to say? Okay, sorry. They lost Tyrese Haliburton in game 2 or after game 2, and so they didn't have him for game 3 or 4, which were home games. I think if they would have had him, they would have had a chance. They almost beat him in game 3. I don't know what else. I mean, I knew that the Pacers weren't going to do well against the Celtics anyways. and that's why I kind of switched to wanting the Knicks to win, because I think the Knicks would have had a better shot against the Celtics. But I honestly feel like um, most of the people that are still watching the playoffs um, either want the Timberwolves or the Mavericks, and they just want to see the Celtics lose. I think the Celtics are just one of those teams right now where they're just so good that it just pisses people off, and I mean it certainly pisses me off. I hate it. I like Jason Tatum. I like his play style. I hate his shot form. It's freaking ugly, but he's a baller, and I don't know. I like Drew Holiday as well defensively. I can't say I'm a huge fan of Jaylen Brown or Derek White. Derek White's a freaking meme, dude. That guy's got a horrible hairline. It literally got so bad last year that he just went bald, and I find that hilarious. Um, Jaylen Brown's a stud. He got the MVP of the Eastern Conference Finals. I can't argue that really. Um, Jaylen Brown had good games throughout the series, played well. Um, I think he was the leading scorer in most of their games. So, I mean, if that doesn't tell you anything, but yeah, Jaylen Brown was all right. And then what else? Oh, I don't even know if I want to talk about the Mavericks Timberwolves, man. They they just gassed themselves too much in the Denver series, and you know, the thing I like about Anthony Edwards is he talks shit no matter what. He talks shit if he's up, like if he's up big. He talks shit if he's down big. He talks shit if it's tie game. Dude, dude is dude's always breathing down your neck. And if you make one mistake, he's gonna make you feel it. He's gonna make you pay for it. And he keeps a smile on his face. He keeps going. He keeps pushing. I think he doesn't have a mentality of, all right, we're down 3-0. No team has ever come back from a 3-0 deficit. It's over. Let's just let him have game 4. He's got an attitude of, we have 4 games left. And you only need 4 to win. So let's win 4 straight. And I think it's a good mentality to have, but I also think it just makes it hurt a lot more when it doesn't come out the way you hope it does. So I do love that about Ant. I think they might be able to pull away with the game tonight at 6:30, but I think the best they do is 2 games, and and the problem is the games that they've played, like they're not like it's not like they're getting killed by the Mavericks. They're playing really well against the Mavericks, and the Mavericks just happen to come out every time. I think the first 2 games were 3-point difference, so it's just, I feel like it's just kind of unlucky. But as for the Timberwolves' future, I don't really know. I mean, I think they could look for. I think Jaden McDaniels would develop really well over the offseason. I don't really know what Conley's plan is. He's a vet. He's getting there. I feel like I would not be surprised if he got traded. I don't know why you trade him, because he's got good chemistry with Rudy Gobert, and he's a good guard. But I don't really know what the Timberwolves can do other than just get right back to the weight room. I think I think they have a good chance at a run for a championship. It's just, I think the Celtics are out. I mean, the Celtics are killing it right now. They don't. Celtics need to Celtics are in a good spot right now. But I think the Timberwolves just got kind of unlucky because they have a good team, but there's just better teams, you know. And I mean, it's hard to watch how bad Rudy Gobert and Cat's interior defense has been in this series. Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively have just been slamming down alley oops all over their head this whole entire series, and it's an absolute joke. I really don't even know what else to say about it other than the fact that it's just every other play they're getting dunked on. And Naz Reid has stepped up. Naz Reid has been going to work in these playoffs. He almost had that game tire. I think it was game 2 or maybe game 1. That would have been beautiful if he had hit that. And I think Naz Reid is really just one of those. He's not like an all-star per se, but he's not like a role player, you know? He's right in between. He gets shit done, and he lays down dunks. He's good on the interior. He can shoot the 3 ball. I think Naz Reid is an amazing player for the Timberwolves right now. But I think they just need to figure out their matchups. They just, with the 3 of those guys, they really just need to dial in their defensive strategies. And I feel like as I've watched these games go on, the Timberwolves defense is starting to fall asleep, and that's, I mean, it's not good either way, but especially against the Mavericks. The Mavericks can easily figure out where and how they can attack your weaknesses, and they do it so efficiently. Kyrie has just been an absolute stud this series. Luka Doncic has been playing great, but Derek Lively's stuck out to me. He might be out for this game as well. He's out for last game, or the majority of last game, but I mean, as a rookie, he's killing it. And it's nice to get this experience early on in your career, in the playoffs, because it's the most stressful and most impactful. You'll learn a lot from the playoffs, I think. So, yeah, and then Pacers. I mean, their off season is going to be interesting to watch. I'm not going to lie. I think they need to get bigger. I think that's the kind of the Pacers' downfall. There's nothing wrong with T.J. McConnell, but he gets a lot of steals, but he's not a good. He's not good all around. You know what I'm saying? He's got a good mid range, and he's got good ball handle defense. On ball defense, sorry. But it's just, you can't switch him. You can't really. He's not really a versatile guard. He's just too small for that. Nemhard's pretty small as well. I guess you got a bigger guy out of Siakam. Miles Turner's a good starting big. I think you just need to get some more backup, really. Obi Toppin's actually been doing pretty good in this playoffs. But I feel like there isn't a lot. I don't know how to word this without making people angry, but there's not a lot of talent on the Pacers. It's just a lot of mediocre mid players on a team that have good chemistry and know how to efficiently pass and score the ball. Other than that, though, I mean, Tyrese Halliburton's still young, doesn't have a lot of experience. They don't really have a lot of experience as a team, really. So I think that's where they need to change. Maybe trade for a vet, maybe trade for some more experience, stuff like that. But yeah, I just Yeah, I mean, it pains me to watch this kind of stuff because the semifinals, there was three 7 game series. In the conference finals, there's gonna be 2 sweeps. Um, I'm not a huge fan of that, if I'm being honest with you. Um, but Celtics move on to the finals. I really don't want the Celtics to win. I really want the Minnesota Timberwolves, but winning 4 games straight in the playoffs is literally impossible. So I'm gonna count them out, I guess. I don't want to count them out, but I'm gonna have to count them out. Um, so you know, Mavericks versus Celtics. I mean, it could really go either way. If I'm being honest with you, I think I think the Mavericks really got some things going. Kyrie Irving's really starting to show out. He's opening his bag a little bit. Luka Doncic is playing phenomenal second half. I mean, the Mavericks are really a second half team. If I'm being honest, um, if Derek Lively can get healthy and stay healthy throughout this next series, it's good. Daniel Gafford, Derek Jones Jr. They got a good team going. Um, what they need, they got to they really got to go at the Celtics. They just got to open the series strong. Um, Celtics have home court advantage, I think. So the Mavericks the Mavericks need to win one of those two away games to start. They have to win um, one of those two away games to start. And then if they can win, I'd say they probably have to win the next 2 home games. So that'd be 3-1. But odds are like it's probably going to be 2-2 at the end of those 4 games. Um, I think if the Mavericks can get it to 2-2 at least, I mean 3-1 would be amazing, but that's a push against the Celtics. So I think if they can get it to 2-2 for the first 4 games, um, then it's kind of, I wouldn't say easy going from there, but I think it'll I think they have a good chance at a chip this year. It's gonna be fun to see Kyrie get one with the Mavs. Luka gets his first one. Mark Cuban's an insane owner, and I think it'd be cool if he got a ring. But yeah, that's really all I got for this episode. Um I don't really have much to talk about because it's just kind of these 2 series have been a shit show for one team or the other. Pacers just got whooped. I don't know. I mean, I can't really talk about too much. Like, because a lot of it is what my opinion is on how I think they're going to do. And the series is already over. It's 4-0. So, you know, the only thing I can say is, good luck next year. And I'm just praying that the Celtics lose. So, and then, you can't. Timberwolves have the aura. They got the momentum. Well, they're on momentum right now, but I could definitely see them pulling the first, you know, 3-0 deficit to win it in league history. So, be open for that. Next one's Friday. We'll talk more about it. I'm going to start looking into some other topics as we start to go into the off season here. So keep it interesting, keep it, fresh. I'm still working on some guest people coming on. I'm, still trying to see if I can get some interesting content out of them and have some good conversations. But yeah, I think that's it for this episode of Takeover Talks. I'm Tommy, and we will see you next time. Peace.